What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Tottenham update for you guys, and let's get straight into it. And the first update we got for you is a bit similar to what we saw at the back end of the Poch era. But they're saying that players within the Tottenham Hotspur squad had reservations over the club potentially appointing Antonio Conte. Those players were informed about how extreme and demanding his methods were. This squad,
these players
man,
just don't learn, do they? I can guarantee you ain't Harry Kane, and guarantee you ain't Heung-min Son, and guarantee you ain't Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. You know, I can guarantee you ain't these players who are.
So who is it? Name and shame the bastards.
Yeah, we know who these culprits are. These people who sold out Pochettino, they sold out Mourinho, and they're going to sell out any other manager who wants their players just to work hard. That's really the bare minimum. Like, seriously, why do players have reservations over Spurs signing a proven winner when a world-class manager? Any manager that comes in who's worth his salt will demand a high work ethic. I don't understand this.
No matter who the manager is at Tottenham Hotspur, at any Premier League football club, at any professional sporting kind of team, any sporting institution, you're a professional. That is the word, professional. That is not professional. These players are not professional. They're stealing a wage. They're literally stealing a living.
I don't understand what like. In professional sport, those inches make the difference. When you have to work super hard off the training ground, because those little things, those extra inches, if you can run a yard faster or a yard more during 90 minutes, they can make all difference throughout the game. So the fact that they don't want to put in those extra effort is really concerning, and it's something that we've known about for a while with these leaks about the Spurs squad, always complaining about managers' methods and not hard enough, too hard, all this different stuff, and it's starting to really piss me off, to be honest.
It started to piss me off a long time ago, but that was from Jack Pitbook, right?
Yeah.
From The Athletic, and he followed on to say that Tottenham will delay any potential transfers until a new head coach is appointed. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
That should make sense. I mean, that makes a mockery of all the transfer rumours we've heard, with people like Anderson and whatnot set to be signing relatively soon, apparently. But it completely makes sense. You need to wait until you have a head coach who has a vision of how he wants to play before you make any signings. That completely should be the way it goes. And the fact that we've waited so long to appoint a head coach is absolutely disastrous, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I think a director of football and a manager should be coming in together. I don't think it should be one or the other, because what if the director of football and manager share different visions or stuff like that?
But
you know
it's
what
different.
I mean?
Director of football isn't necessarily someone who has his own vision, or doesn't have to be. It's someone who works within the vision of the manager. So the manager says, I need a player in this position who can do all these things, and then the director of football's job is to find the player with those specifications. That's how I see it.
But it's also very key for the manager and director of football to have a very close relationship and be able to work together.
Of course.
So, I mean, we've seen it before where director of football and manager don't really get on, a la Martin Yeo and Damien Comoli. He was telling us that story when we interviewed him. So it's very important for the two to have to work closely together. And that's why I was quite excited for Paratici and Conte to come in, because they have worked together.
Yeah, that would have been hopefully the perfect situation, but it ain't gonna happen now, is it?
And talking about Antonio Conte, The Athletic went on to say that Antonio Conte impressed during talks with Tottenham Hotspur, but about his ambition, about how he would coach them to improve. He warned the club, though, that if they had doubts about appointing him, they should just not do it.
How much do you want Conte? Okay, well, we have doubts. Oh man, it's unbelievable that we pulled the plug on this guy who clearly thinks he can do a lot if given the tools, and we know what he can do, but Spurs can't match his ambition. That's the truth. 5
titles in 7 seasons says it all. It just says it all, doesn't it? I mean, the
fact he's willing to come, we should be snapping at the chance. But unfortunately, our priority isn't winning on the pitch right now. So we don't need a manager who can win on the pitch.
And there's more from The Athletic saying Daniel Levy recently conceded it was time to delegate more. Fabio Paratici will now oversee all football matters, with his role likely to be titled as general manager.
Well, he's taken his time, hasn't he?
It's only about 20 years too late.
Honestly, he's never been involved in one footballing decision, Daniel Levy. But at least he's starting to realise that maybe he's not the best at making footballing decisions.
Do you still think he's going to be sitting in the, how we saw him in the documentary, in and around the squad every single day, sitting in the lounge?
That shit.
I mean, just stay in your office, stay away from the staff, stay away from the footballing side, concentrate on the business side of matters. And if you can't do that, then just get out of the club. You know what I mean?
He fancies himself as a scout, Daniel Levy. Just stop. Just stop. We don't need your input when footballing decisions. Leave it to someone else who knows what they're doing and knows the game.
Yeah, exactly. I want Carlos Tevez. Yeah, Carlos Tevez is a good signing. I'll get you Luis Saha. And next is last one from The Athletic, and they say Fabio Paratici will meet Tottenham Hotspur staff in Turin today before flying to London later this week to be formally announced.
Yeah, let's hope this deal just gets done and there can be some positivity this week, given all the gloom with Conte off the table, Pochettino seemingly off the table. So at least everyone said a director of football and head of recruitment was definitely one of the big priorities this summer, and at least we're sorting that out.
Yeah, I mean, the transfer window opens in 2 days' time. We don't have a manager.
Yeah.
We're about to get a general manager or director of football, whatever you want to call it. I mean, yes, this is a step in the right direction, but it doesn't take away from the fact how much of a mess we're in right now.
No, we're still in a massive mess. As long as we don't have a manager, we're not even going to sign anyone until we have a manager. So, and as I said before, the longer we don't have a manager, there's no conversation to have with Kane until we get a manager. Right now, there is no conversation to have with him. So we're just an absolute mess at the moment.
And here's the last one on Fabio Paratici. This is from Fabrizio Romano last night. And he said, Paratici reached an agreement with Tottenham 2 days ago. He is now working with Daniel Levy to appoint a new head coach.
Let's just hope he's drawn up a good list. And because the list that was drawn up by Hitchin, the previous guy, they all rejected us. So clearly either they weren't the right fit for us or was too ambitious or whatnot, but they weren't the right list. But hopefully Paratici can maybe get some fresh eyes on it, on the manager search, maybe come up with a few outside of the box ideas, and maybe we could end up with a manager hopefully that's the right fit for us, and hopefully he can have some fresh eyes on it.
Yeah, I hope so. But I'm trying to think who it could actually be. I mean, top of my head, maybe Gasparini.
I reckon it'll be someone we haven't heard of yet. Who's not in the running. It'll be someone a bit outside the box, I reckon.
Let's move on, and this is about Gianluigi Donnarumma, and he is set to be loaned out by PSG upon his completion of the transfer, a free transfer to PSG from AC Milan, and that could interest Tottenham on a loan deal for Donnarumma for the year.
Be interesting to see if we get him on loan. It'd be very weird.
He's like the best goalkeeper in the world going out on loan.
Yeah, it'd be very strange. I don't know why. I guess he's still young, so maybe they got Navas. They feel like...
Why wouldn't they loan out Navas?
Because Navas is still good, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's old. I don't know. But
Donnarumma is better than Navas, isn't he?
Donnarumma is good, but he's young. And I actually think Navas is still probably better than him right now.
Isn't Donnarumma Italian number one?
He is, yeah. But Navas is a quality keeper. I think he's underrated, and so maybe they still look. Navas still got a few good years left in him. He'll be our number one until his end of his contract, and then Donnarumma can take over. Maybe that's how they see it. But can
you see this one happening?
No.
Any legs to that at all?
Not really.
You never know though with Paratici.
Look, if we loan him, how much are we paying for his wages for a 1 year loan where we have Lloris? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't really make any sense unless Lloris is going. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It would have to be heavily subsidised if we were going to get him.
I also don't see Levy, or if there's no option to buy him, I don't see us going forward with it. Why would we want him just for a year when we can't get him permanently? And that makes no sense.
In case Lloris leaves, I guess.
Even that. Well, why not sign a keeper? Why loan Donnarumma for a year and then delay it?
There's probably no keeper. If you were strapped for cash and we can get a good deal on him, loan for a year, it could be an option just to cover it for a year.
Levy's not the type. Isn't usually the type to just take a loan without an option to buy.
He's also not the type to hand over control of footballing matters. So maybe it's the tide is turning a bit.
I don't think it's a good thing if he just loans him free. I don't think that's a positive.
I think that if Lloris is going to go this summer, which is quite possible, I don't think there is a better option for next season that we can get than Donnarumma. I know it's only for a year, but it gives us another year to scout more keepers and get a long-term deal.
I'm not going to be against it. It'll be a weird deal, but I just don't. It doesn't excite me.
I think it would excite me having him for a year because I know the
pure class. Good,
I know it's not a long-term deal, but I think that it's not going to be ideal. Obviously, it's not going to be ideal, but I think it'll be good in terms for the team next season.
It's just a bit of a small club mentality, isn't it? Just take him for a year with no option to buy.
Yeah, well, that's a product of Daniel Levy running this club.
I don't know.
But let's move on to the last update we've got for you for the England, and this is Ben White replaces Trent Alexander-Arnold in the England squad. So we're back down to 3 right backs now, and Ben White, the centre back, comes in for the injured Trent. I mean, I think Ben White really impressed in the friendly, and that kind of confirmed his space, didn't it?
Yeah, and I think the fitness of Stones and Maguire probably played a part in it as well, because clearly Maguire isn't fully fit going into Sunday, and John Stones also have questionable fitness, and does he rely solely on Mings and Cody? I think Ben White is probably better than at least one of them, I think. So I think, and he's versatile, he can play midfield, he can play right back, so it makes sense. I know Ward-Prowse is unlucky to miss out, and so is Lingard, but I think it's probably the right move from Southgate, all in all. I mean, it's a tough one, because I think Ward-Prowse offers something no one else in the squad does with his set pieces. But I think just Ben White's versatility and his good performance against Romania probably just shifted it for Southgate.
All right, so there you have it. That is the Tottenham update for you guys today. Let me know.
England.
/ England. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding anything we spoke about today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.